Mac OS interview questions and answers. Beginner means advanced. Introduction. Mac OS is the Unix-based operating system developed by Apple for Mac computers. Mac OS is widely used for check, software development, mobile app development, system administration, DevOps, multimedia production. Mac OS provides check, Unix terminal, graphical interface, security features, development tools, integration with Apple ecosystem. 1 to 20. macOS basics. What is macOS? macOS is Apple's operating system for Mac computers. Who developed macOS? Apple. What was macOS previously called? Mac OS X. What is Unix-based operating system? Operating system built on Unix architecture. Why is macOS popular among developers? Unix terminal. Stable environment. iOS development support. Powerful tools. File management application in macOS. What is Dock? Application launcher and task switcher. What is Spotlight? System-wide search feature. What is Launchpad? Displays installed applications. What is Activity Monitor? Tool for monitoring system resources. What is Terminal? Command line interface in macOS. Default shell in modern macOS. ZSH. Previous default shell in macOS. Bash. What is file extension for macOS application? .app. What is Homebrew? Package manager for macOS. Install Homebrew command. bin, bash, c, curl, fssl, https raw.githubusercontent.com, homebrew install head install.sh. What is system preferences, system settings? Application for configuring macOS settings. What is Time Machine? Backup solution in macOS. What is Force Quit? Forcefully closing unresponsive applications. Force Quit shortcut? Command Option Escape. 21 to 40. Files, terminal, and commands. What is file system used by macOS? APFS, Apple File System. Previous file system before APFS, HFS+. What is root directory in macOS? /. What is home directory? /users/username. How to list files in terminal? ls. How to change directory? cd, folder name. How to create folder? mkdir test. How to remove file? rm, file.txt. How to copy file? cp, file.txt, backup.txt. How to move file? nv, old.txt, new.txt. What is sudo? Runs command with administrator privileges. What is chmod? Changes file permissions. Chmod example. chmod 755 script.sh. What is chown? Changes file ownership. What is pwd command? pwd. What is grep command? Searches text patterns. grep, error, log.txt. What is pipe operator? Pipe example? psaux, grep java. What is environment variable? Echo, $path. 41 to 70. Processes, networking, and development. What is process in macOS? Running instance of application. How to list running processes. psaux. What is top command? Top. What is kill command? Kill PID. What is kill -9? Forcefully terminates process. Secure remote login protocol. SSH command example? SSH, user at server. What is SCP? Secure file copy command. SCP example? SCP file.txt, user at server, /temp. What is curl? Tool for making HTTP requests. Curl https:/example.com. What is ping? Tests network connectivity. What is netstat? Displays network connections. What is localhost? 127.0.0.1. What is Xcode? Apple IDE for macOS and iOS development. What is Xcode command line tools? Development tools for terminal usage. Install Xcode command line tools. Xcode select -- install. What is Git? Version control system. Git clone example. Git clone repo URL. What is VS Code? Popular code editor supported on macOS. What is iTerm2? Advanced terminal replacement for macOS. What is shell script? Script executed by shell. bin, bash. Echo hello. What is cron job? Scheduled task execution. What is crontab? Crontab-e. What is package manager? Tool for installing software packages. C. Homebrew. Mac ports. What is Rosetta 2? Compatibility layer for Intel apps on Apple Silicon Macs. What is Apple Silicon? Apple-designed ARM-based processors. Intel versus Apple Silicon Macs? Different CPU architectures. 71 to 100. Advanced macOS and security. What is SIP in macOS? System Integrity Protection Security Feature. Purpose of SIP. Prevents unauthorized system modifications. Security feature checking trusted apps. What is File Vault? Full disk encryption in macOS. What is Keychain Access? Password and certificate management tool. What is sandboxing? Restricting app access to system resources. What is LaunchD? macOS Service Management System. What is Pleased File? Property List Configuration File. What is Daemon in macOS? Background Service Process. What is Activity Monitor used for? CPU monitoring, memory monitoring, disk usage, network monitoring. What is memory pressure? Indicator of memory usage efficiency. Disk space used as temporary RAM. What is kernel panic? Critical system crash in macOS. What is safe mode? Diagnostic startup mode. What is recovery mode? System recovery environment. How to open recovery mode on Apple Silicon. Hold power button during startup. What is disk utility? Disk management tool. What is APFS snapshot? Point-in-time file system backup. Terminal commands. File permissions. Homebrew. Networking. Security features. Common macOS problems. Storage issues. Permission errors. High CPU usage. Startup problems. Best practices for macOS. Regular backups, software updates, secure passwords, use File Vault. How to monitor performance in macOS? Activity Monitor, Top Command, Console Logs. What is Console App? Log Viewer for macOS system logs. What is Developer Mode in macOS? Enables development-related permissions. What is Notarization in macOS? Apple Security Verification for applications. Running virtual machines on Mac systems. Common virtualization tools on macOS? Check. Parallels. VMware Fusion. UTM. How to become strong in macOS. K. Learn terminal commands. K. Practice shell scripting. K. Understand Unix fundamentals. K. Use development tools. Biggest macOS interview concept? Unix-based system administration and development environment. Key macOS interview focus. Terminal usage, system management, security, and development tools. Final summary. macOS interviews focus on. Check. Terminal commands. File systems and permissions. Networking. Process management. Homebrew and package management. Shell scripting. Security features. Development tools. Key idea. Strong macOS users understand Unix fundamentals, terminal operations, system security, and development workflows.